A lot of the media coverage here, at least, has been relatively negative in the run-up to this visit. There's a lot of talk of them being grifters, about using Australia as their own personal ATM machine. There's been a lot of concern about the fact that the local state police are having to plough some resources into this trip in order to keep the public safe. There's been calls from politicians saying that the taxpayers shouldn't have to fund anything to do with this trip, and that Harry and Meghan are private business people who should be asked to give the money back. Their first stop was at the Royal Children's Hospital this morning. There were huge crowds gathered to meet them, up to 1,000 people, I guess, cheering and shouting and screaming, wanting to shake their hands, giving them gifts and flowers and handmade drawings. Again, at a domestic refuge that Meghan visited after the hospital, again she was welcomed really warmly by the women that the centre supports, and it was very clear that they were chuffed and proud that she was there and she was somebody that they knew and recognised. And now they're due to come here, the last stop today. I'm going to see them again tomorrow back in Melbourne for Harry, and then on to Canberra.
Welcome again to our joint segment. My name is Winnie and I'm an amazing guest,
Brian.
How are you feeling about today?
I'm feeling really happy. It's day 2 of Harry and Meghan's visit to Australia, and people are happy. I think that even online, it's Harry and Meghan who are dominating the headlines, and honestly, mostly it's positive, and I'm thankful for that. The only problem is, of course, from people like Victoria Ward, who like to lie time and time again about Harry and Meghan, and then follow them all the way from the UK to Australia to go and complain. That's the only problem.
So, before we begin today's discussion, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. We are almost getting to 500 subscribers, which is, oh my god, that's awesome. And the goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. So, we have watched the video, and I have a couple of questions regarding this video. Victoria Ward claims that Harry and Meghan are being called grifters, and that they are using Australia. Can you imagine? They are using Australia as their personal ATM. Why is she saying this?
I think, someone like Victoria Ward is someone who herself is guilty.
Yeah.
In that she's someone who is following Harry and Meghan from the UK to Australia to make money off of Harry and Meghan. At the same time, she's complaining because Australians, for example, are willing to pay money to attend a retreat that Meghan will be attending, and she's angry because the thought of seeing Meghan earning a single penny angers her so much. It angers not just her, really. Most of the tabloids, most of the royal experts, whenever they see Harry and Meghan earning a single cent, they always complain because they promised their readers and viewers a couple of years ago, after Harry and Meghan stepped back as senior members of the royal family, that Harry and Meghan will be back begging for money from Charles. And because that hasn't happened, what are we seeing? We are seeing UK media targeting Harry and Meghan's business ventures. We are seeing Harry and Meghan, the charity work being targeted. We are seeing every single thing that Harry and Meghan care about sadly being targeted, even though they do being targeted, because there are people who feel disgruntled that Harry and Meghan were able to flee the UK and excel outside of the institution, which of course is raising questions, among Australians. If Harry and Meghan can come over and do this visit, with their own money, why are we funding Charles and William? Why are we hearing that they have to fork out millions whenever senior members of the royal family do tours back in the UK? And remember that those members of the royal family like William, Charles, Camilla, Kate are taxpayer funded, and they're paying millions whenever they are in the UK. So they're seeing with Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan are here for business, private charity engagements, and they're of course earning their own living, and UK media will always be opposed to seeing Harry and Meghan earning an income. It's like someone who's angry at you, Winnie, for earning a living. Like it's a crime for you to earn a living. So they are mad at you because you are working very hard to earn your own living. So they get very, very upset with you because they see you earning a living. So that's the case of Harry and Meghan. when the farm and UK media and people like Victoria see Harry and Meghan earning their own living, they get very, very upset. Yet they themselves are making money off of Harry and Meghan, you know. And then you complain that someone else in Australia is willing to buy a ticket to come and see Meghan. They're like, oh, you're using Australia like a personal ATM. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? There are many investors out there who come and invest money in Australia, who come and put in, of course, the time, effort, resources to invest money in Australia or even other countries. And nobody really complains. However, when it's Harry and Meghan who are coming in even to even do business in Australia,
have a problem.
How could they? Why are they doing this? Why are you doing business here? You know, and the thing is, Harry and Meghan do have a right to do business, especially because they have to earn a living in any country, whether it's Australia, whether it's the UK, whether it's America, whether it's any other country in this world. Harry and Meghan, like you and I, have bills to pay. They have staff members to pay. So they, of course, have to earn a living. And honestly, someone who wants a living is someone who, of course, you should respect. You know, their hustle. But with UK media, they seem to have a problem with Harry and Meghan earning a living.
And one thing I love about Harry and Meghan is the fact that they cannot be controlled now. When you're financially independent,
you can't be controlled.
Cannot be controlled.
You also can't be told what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we still see an effort by the firm and UK media to tell Harry and Meghan what to do or what not to do. This is okay, this is not okay. Harry and Meghan can't do things to please the tabloid media. If they were to do things that please the UK media, right now they'll be divorced, they'll be broke, they'll have no money. If they were to do things to make tabloids happy. And I remember the case of the story of Margaret, who was supposed to give up, you know, the man that she loved. When she did that, she was miserable her whole life. But you know what? UK media said, because they were happy that she gave up the man that she loved, you know, they clapped their hands for her and said that, you know what, or you've given up love for duty, clap your hands, but she was miserable in her own life. So the same thing is what they want to do to Prince Harry. But they're angry because they can't do it after he escaped. And they keep on trying to reel him back into the raw fold to destroy his life, destroy his marriage, destroy his finances. That way he's dependent on people who don't treat him well. For anything, for some bread. And that Harry and Meghan must never ever be in that position. Because the only ones that I see complaining mostly are mostly British tabloids. You know, Victoria Ward has gone from UK to Australia to come and complain about Harry and Meghan's visit, yet she's there making money off of Harry and Meghan.
True.
While trying to tell Australians, Harry and Meghan, why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this?
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense.
And do you think if Harry and Meghan were still in the UK, will they still have the freedom to maybe participate in charity events like the way they are doing right now, of them being in the UK?
If they're in the UK, I don't see that happening, you know, because of the rhetoric and language of the UK media. We do know that, God forbid, if Harry and Meghan are back in the raw fold, you know, UK media and the firm will do every single thing in their power to dim their light and keep them contained. Even these visits to other countries won't be allowed. You think that Harry and Meghan will be allowed to go to Australia or France or even America? It won't happen. So it's sad that there are people who, when they see you happy in Montecito, when they see you happy wherever you're going, away from you, who have treated them appallingly, you get upset because they're living without you. They're happy without you.
Yes, I agree.
You get very, very angry because they're happy, they are paying their bills, you know, earning their own income. You get very angry because they're doing all of this without your approval, without you around, and you get angry because of it. That's what is happening with Victoria Ward.
So we continue talking about the clip we've just watched. She also claims that local state police are plowing some resources to keep the public safe. Brian, is it a problem to keep the public safe?
You know, I like your question because technically she was saying that basically like it's a problem for the public to be kept safe. That's the job of the police.
Exactly.
And the police in Australia are professional and they're doing their job.
They're in their work of profession.
But UK media, someone from the UK will come to Australia to try and tell them how to do their job because they have a problem with Harry and Meghan. So you fly all the way from the UK to Australia to go and tell police in Australia how they should do their jobs. It doesn't work like
Doesn't
that,
work like
Victoria
that.
Ward. It doesn't work like that, Victoria Ward. You can't tell police in Australia what to do or what not to do.
True.
Police in Australia will do what they want to do, will do what they believe is the right thing to do.
Yes.
And you, Victoria Ward, you have no right whatsoever tell police what to do or what not to do. You know, they themselves have said that high profile figures
Yes.
are in Australia.
Australia,
Who
yes.
are these high profile figures? Harry and Meghan.
Meghan,
The
yes.
Duke and Duchess of Sussex are the high profile figures who are in Australia right now.
Yeah.
And because they're in Australia, they deserve to have protection, they deserve to have security,
Yeah.
they deserve to be safe and to feel safe in
Yeah.
Australia.
Australia,
And
yes.
even people who are around them
Yes.
should be safe.
Safe.
But
Yes.
Victoria seems to have an issue
Yeah.
with that like it's a problem. Like it's a problem. Should Harry and Meghan not travel?
They should.
They should.
Yes.
They have a right to travel. And I'm
have
sick
all
and
the-
tired
yeah.
of some individuals acting as if it's a crime or a problem
Yeah.
for Harry and Meghan to travel. Like why are you traveling? Why are you going to Nigeria? Why are you going to Colombia? Why are you going to Australia? You know, all these complaints shows you one thing.
Yeah.
Harry and Meghan in this world right now, they deserve to have security.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who else do you see in the royal family
Yeah.
whereby even other government officials, whereby the media flock to the airport
Yeah.
to go and check
Just
if Harry has, if someone has
landed.
arrived really.
Yeah.
They do it for Harry and Meghan, and then they say, Harry and Meghan, why do you need security? The press interest in Harry and Meghan should match the level of security Harry and Meghan received
I agree.
in Australia.
in Australia,
The
yes.
press interest that they have towards Harry and Meghan
Meghan, yes.
should match the security Harry and Meghan have
Yeah.
wherever they go.
They go, yes.
Be it Australia, be it America,
Yeah.
be it Nigeria, be it Colombia, wherever Harry and Meghan choose to
go.
travel to. You know, the level of press attention they get should match the security that they receive. And from what we've seen with the level of press attention to Harry and Meghan or with Harry and Meghan,
Yes.
of course they do deserve security wherever they go. They should have security 100%, and no one should stop them from having security. They should have it without a sort of a doubt. Let nobody ever tell you otherwise. Harry and Meghan deserve to have security. Yeah.
And the fact that she traveled all the way from the UK to just come and see Harry and Meghan, that's
So she came from the UK to Australia to come and complain about Harry and Meghan. That's someone who is not well, really. Someone, imagine going there and then complaining about how police in Australia are protecting the public.
yeah.
Just imagine traveling to Australia to go and make money off of Harry and Meghan and then complain that Harry and Meghan are making money. I mean, do you even hear yourself?
Yeah.
Do you hear yourself, or you're not hearing yourself? Because there are people who are so out of touch with reality and they don't even realize when they speak what they're even saying.
Yeah.
I feel like to Victoria Ward, here's my message. Take a moment and before you talk, just think. Thinking is free of charge. It's not expensive to think.
Exactly.
Before you say a word, take a moment and think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
Think about what you're doing, because that is very, very important. And it's so sad that someone like her, the way she behaves like someone who really isn't really, thinking about even the consequences of what she says. Yeah.
But one thing we cannot disagree is at the end of the video, she actually acknowledges the way Harry and Meghan have received warm welcome and
in Australia.
Yeah,
I do agree with you, Winnie, that in the end, she does acknowledge that Harry and Meghan in Australia have been welcomed, have been showered with love and support in Australia, and that wherever Harry and Meghan go, they are loved and protected, and they are admired. Wherever Harry and Meghan go, she did acknowledge, of course, that Harry and Meghan have been cheered by members of the public. And I know it must have been hard for someone who works for Telegraph to admit that,
say that.
to say that. It's hard for most of these carnival or so-called experts to accept that the public love and adore Harry and Meghan. So one thing is for sure, when Harry and Meghan's visit ends in a few days from now or after the weekend, when they go back to America, to their home, to their kids, when it happens, don't be surprised when you see, what I call emotional support polls being released, saying that Harry and Meghan are unpopular based on the polls, to try and somehow convince themselves,
yes,
or try and deceive the public into thinking that Harry and Meghan have no public support. Yet everyone has seen with their own two eyes the immense public support and goodwill that Harry and Meghan have received or keep on receiving from members of the public, which of course Harry and Meghan do deserve. They deserve the goodwill that they're receiving. They deserve the goodwill, the respect that they are getting wherever they go. Harry and Meghan deserve all of it. And I find that that's what truly matters, that love wins, and Harry and Meghan deserve all the love, all the adoration, all the support from members of the public. They deserve that 100%. And thankfully, she admitted Harry and Meghan were cheered, supported, and loved by members of the public. I know it must have been hard, but I'm happy about her admission.
Yeah. She also claims that taxpayers are funding their security. Do you agree?
Harry and Meghan have said that majority of the bills that are being funded by them, because it is a private visit.
Yes.
And I believe and trust Harry and Meghan. And even if a penny is used by taxpayers to protect Harry and Meghan, Harry and Meghan should be protected.
Exactly, I agree.
They should be protected, okay? Let nobody ever tell you otherwise, because first of all, Harry and Meghan have been invited to Australia. When they were in Nigeria, they were invited by the head of the army. And the head of the army of Nigeria, when he invited Harry and Meghan to Nigeria, he gave Harry and Meghan protection. I recall even at the time whereby UK media were angry when Harry and Meghan were in Nigeria, whereby they were welcomed in Nigeria by the army chief, and that they were complaining about Harry and Meghan being surrounded by the army. But they were invited.
Yeah, they were invited.
Right? They were invited. Yes. Harry and Meghan have been invited by different organizations to come to Australia, and so they have. So of course they are all security. And honestly also, because Harry is the king's son, surely for goodness sake, he deserves security.
Exactly.
But it's so sad that time and time again they try to keep this from him. Yet they know he needs it. Even UK media's hate campaign targeting him and Meghan, it justifies why Harry had to go to court to fight for the safety of his wife and kids, because he has to. He has a family to protect. He has a wife, he has children who depend on him, who need him. So all this topic of, who's paying for security, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Harry is the king's son. He deserves security. Whether you like him or not, he deserves security. His wife deserves security. His kids, Archie, Lilibet, deserve security. If you don't want him to have security, then just, abolish the monarchy, all that stuff. Let everybody, not be royalty. And then you can say, okay, fine. You don't have to pay for security. But for as long as you keep your monarchy, you deserve, the people who are in the monarchy or part of it should be protected. That's Harry and Meghan included. Not excluded, included. They should be protected. So whether Victoria likes it or not, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. And I'm not going to let anybody twist the truth. We're not going to allow them to twist the truth or just lie or deceive or manipulate. We're not going to allow that.
I think such criticism are appearing so that they can also act as a distraction, which we
from
know
Harry and Meghan's visit,
that their visit will be successful. Day 1, tick. Day 2, tick. Day 3 and day 4 till the last day will be a success. So regardless of the critics, regardless of what tabloids say, this visit
is a success.
It's a success.
It's a success. Day 1, day 2, everything has gone so well. The only one who I hear mourning mostly are mostly the UK media, most members of the Royal Rota, because they are seeing that Harry and Meghan are doing this without them, and they're so bitter because these Royal tours are chances for this. For most of this carnival or so-called experts to make a fortune off of them. So they feel like Harry and Meghan doing this. They don't want to be left out. That's why even they are flying from the UK to Australia to come and make money from Harry and Meghan. So if you are doing that, respect the hand that feeds you. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. For a long time, we see that UK media keep on trying to bite the hand that feeds them instead of respecting Harry and Meghan, because first of all, they even depend on Harry and Meghan to earn a living, to pay their bills, and that level of dependency that they have towards Harry and Meghan, it's palpable. You can be able to see how they are so heavily dependent on anything having to do with Harry and Meghan. And the thing is, if that's the case, because that is the case, they should show Harry and Meghan some respect.
Yeah.
Respect the people that basically you depend on to pay your bills. Respect is something which is, of course, very, very important. Very, very important. Yeah.
So our last question is: she vows as well to follow Harry to Melbourne and Canberra. Why wouldn't she just let them be and follow Prince William?
Because William is boring. That's why. Because William is boring, and most of them acknowledge that William is boring. That's why they can't follow him. That's why they have to follow Prince Harry everywhere. So just respect the person that you're following around, even though you're not wanted there. Respect the person that you depend on to make or earn your living, right? Respect is very, very important. And it's sad that they won't give, or show Harry and Meghan the level of respect that we do know that Harry and Meghan should get and they deserve. Yeah.
And one thing is, everybody is just interested in Harry and Meghan.
Not on William, not on Kate, not on Charles, not on Camilla Parker Bowles. Everyone is of course interested in Harry and Meghan. We are interested in Harry and Meghan as well, us included.
Yes, and they're very interesting people, and I think that's why the likes of her will also follow them from
the UK to Melbourne, because she's very, very desperate. To even Canberra, surely she's even going to Canberra to go and follow Prince Harry and Meghan. That level of desperation is immense, and it's so obvious that she's really, really desperate. What do you think, Winnie?
Yeah, I guess she wants to just get stories, but one fact is we can't deny, she admitted that they were warmly received and warmly welcomed in Australia.
Thank you so much, Winnie, for having me.
And that's the end. Please follow me, subscribe, and stay tuned
to our next video. Love you awesome forever, and may God bless you all. And like, share,
subscribe.
Thank you, Winnie. Have a nice
time.
Have a nice time. Have a nice day. Bye.